Parenting is a complex task, and no one gets it right all the time. However, there are instances where parents can unknowingly or even consciously inflict harm through toxic statements. Words hold tremendous power, especially when spoken by figures of authority like parents. Imagine hearing things like, "You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sibling? I regret having you." Statements like these may sound harsh, but for some children, they're all too familiar. These are examples of toxic statements, harmful words that can damage a child's self-esteem, mental health, and even their view of the world. But here's the good news. Even if you've heard these toxic statements growing up, it is possible to heal, grow, and reclaim your self-worth. Now, why do parents say these things? Often, it's not because they're bad people. Toxic statements usually stem from their own unresolved trauma, stress, or misguided attempts at discipline. But whether it's intentional or not, these words leave a lasting mark. Let's break down some common toxic statements. You'll never amount to anything. Stop being so sensitive. And the result? As children grow into adults, the words they heard often stick with them. These toxic statements can lead to low self-esteem, where a person constantly feels they're not good enough. Fear of failure, afraid to take risks or pursue dreams. Emotional suppression, where expressing feelings feels like a weakness. And the hardest part? These childhood experiences can make it difficult to form healthy relationships. Many end up in toxic relationships that mirror the pain they experienced as children. But recognizing these patterns is the first step towards healing. So how do you know if you were affected by toxic parenting? It might look like constant self-doubt, a need for external validation, difficulty trusting others. These toxic beliefs aren't truths. They're reflections of someone else's issues, not your own. And the best part? You can unlearn them. Here are practical steps to begin the healing process. 1. Acknowledge the hurt. The first step in overcoming toxic parenting is to acknowledge the harm that was done. This can be painful, but it's essential to allow yourself to feel the sadness, anger, or grief that comes with the recognition of mistreatment. Suppressing these emotions only prolongs the healing process. 2. Seek support. Healing from the damage caused by toxic statements is not something you have to do alone. Consider speaking with a therapist or counselor who specializes in childhood trauma or emotional abuse. They can offer tools to help reframe negative thoughts and support you through the process of rebuilding your self-esteem. 3. Reframe negative beliefs. One of the most powerful things you can do is challenge and reframe the negative beliefs that were instilled in you. For example, if you were told, "You'll never amount to anything," work on replacing that with a positive affirmation like, "I am capable of achieving my goals." Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can be especially helpful in changing these thought patterns. 4. Set boundaries. If your parents are still a part of your life and continue to exhibit toxic behavior, setting firm boundaries is crucial for your mental well-being. This might mean limiting contact or refusing to engage in conversations that are harmful. It's not selfish to protect your peace. 5. Surround yourself with positive relationships. Healing often involves surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, rather than tear you down. Seek out relationships with friends, mentors, or loved ones who offer unconditional support and encouragement. Positive reinforcement from these people can help rebuild the self-esteem that was eroded by toxic parenting. 6. Practice self-compassion. It's essential to be gentle with yourself as you go through the process of healing. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes, and your parents' toxic words were not your fault. Practicing self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself for any perceived shortcomings and fosters a kinder, more loving relationship with yourself. 7. Focus on your strengths. Instead of focusing on past failures or the negative statements you grew up with, concentrate on your strengths and what you do well. Engaging in activities that make you feel competent and valued can help you rebuild your self-worth. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Toxic statements from parents can leave deep scars, but they don't define who you are. You are not the hurtful words spoken to you. You are so much more. The road to healing may be long, but with support, self-awareness, and compassion, you can reclaim your narrative. you can rewrite your story and build a life that's full of self-love, resilience, and joy. So, the next time you hear that inner voice whispering, "You're not good enough," remember, that voice isn't yours, and you have the power to silence it. Because at the end of the day, you are worthy of love, success, and happiness. And that's a truth no toxic statement can take away. You have the power to break the cycle and thrive.